Okay, let's get right into today's sermon. I pray you came here today with an honest heart because we're going to have an honest conversation. We're going to talk about something ugly, something we like to pretend we don't carry around. We're going to talk about the bad feelings we justify and keep inside. Let's start right there. Let's talk about hatred. What is it really? It ain't just dislike. It's a heavy, acidic weight you carry right here in your chest. It's a poison you mix for someone else but end up drinking yourself, day after day. And my question is this: why is it that so many of us who profess to be on a path of righteousness, of trying to do better, have allowed ourselves to get so tangled up in this menace called hatred? We justify it. We give it a comfortable chair to sit in right in the living room of our spirit, and we let it fester. But let's discuss the person who is affected the most by your hatred. It ain't the person you're aiming it at. It's you. The hatred is an infection of the soul. It germinates in the dark places of your mind and puts a heavy anchor on your spiritual progress. When someone does something to us, when they wrong us, we can develop this intense resentment that clouds our judgment. It makes us do things, say things, and think things that we later regret. But in that moment, it feels so justified. Think about it. When you hate, who feels that hot, burning sensation? Who loses sleep at night, replaying the scenario over and over again? It's you. We are the primary victims of our own hatred. And here's how we do it. We develop a projection. We build a little version of that person in our minds, a little puppet. And we program that puppet with all the qualities we dislike. We make it ugly, we make it wicked, we make it say and do terrible things inside our own head just to generate more and more of that internal hatred. What we truly end up hating is the monster we ourselves created. Sometimes we've never even met the person. We see a clip on social media. We hear a piece of gossip. We see them display one quality we don't like, and immediately we build that projection in our minds and we start directing our hatred at it. But that projection, it's only a quarter spectrum of who they are. It ain't the truth of that person. And even if you have had a real physical interaction with them that was negative, that's still just one piece. You don't know the fullness of a person. You don't know their secret pains, their hidden kindnesses, their whole story. To you, based on your projection, they are a despicable person. But somewhere else right now, that same person is being a hero to somebody else. They're a loving father to their child, a loyal friend to another. So while your projection is harnessing hatred, someone else's projection of that exact same person is harnessing love. Now, who's right? Hatred is not a good feeling to carry in your heart. It will corrode you from the inside out. It raises your blood pressure. It steals your peace. It darkens your vision until all you can see is the bad in the world. There will be circumstances where you will want to find every reason to justify it. Even when you feel it killing you, you'll hold on to it like a prized possession instead of letting it go. Because letting go feels like they won. But that's a lie. Forgiveness, letting go, it isn't about them. It's about you dispelling that toxic projection from your own mind. Let me tell you a story, my own story. For years, I was consumed by a deep, dark hatred for a family member. This person had hurt me badly, deeply. And even though we were miles apart, hadn't spoken in a decade, I carried him with me every single day. He lived rent-free in my head, and I didn't care what the Lord said about forgiveness. I was hard as stone. I was never going to release the hatred I had in my heart for him. And you know what hurt even more? I'd see other people good people, showering this person with love and affection, and it would make my hatred boil over. It spread. I started hating them too. For not seeing the monster that I saw, my heart became this tangled web of hatred. It was painful. It got so bad one night, the weight of it all just brought me to my knees, and I screamed out to God in my room, and that still, small voice just said, "Forgive, release." But I wouldn't listen. It wasn't until I got an outward perspective I had a close friend, a good man, a man I knew inside and out, and I watched a group of people treat him with the most intense, venomous hatred. They twisted his words, they lied on his name. And I was confused. I knew him, I had no fault with him. But to them, he was the devil himself. And I had to ask myself, why? Why do they hate him so intensely when I see something completely different? It was in asking that question that a cold chill went down my spine. I was doing the exact same thing to my family member. It was a familiar, ugly scenario. So I finally decided to confront it. Not the man, but the projection, the puppet I had built in my mind. In my prayers, I looked that projection in the eye. I acknowledged the pain it represented. And then I forgave it. I let it go. I took its power away. And the moment I did, that burden, that physical weight in my chest, it just dissipated. Now, did that change the actual man? No, he's probably the same person he always was, but it changed me. It freed me. That projection was no longer living in my head, causing trouble. From that moment, I learned to look at things with a broader perspective. I realized it's easier to condemn than to comprehend. Just because I don't understand something, don't mean it deserves to be hated. I started asking more meaningful questions. Why do I think this way? Why does this person think so differently? Is this hatred I'm feeling truly mine, or did I get it from somewhere else? Because when we start to expand our thinking, we realize a lot of the hatred we carry ain't even genuine. We inherited it. We got it from a parent, from a friend, from our environment, and we took it on as our own when it never was. How many of us dislike someone just because our friends do? We've never even had a conversation with them. Let me tell you, it is better to cut ties with a relationship that demands you carry their hate than to poison your own heart out of a false sense of loyalty. So I ask you, does the Lord want you to hate your brothers and sisters over differences? Does that hatred feel good to hold on to? If your heart feels ill and confused today, it might just be that old hatred you never let go of. The moment you release it, you begin to see the world differently. Open your mind. Pull out that arrogance you've accumulated. Accept that you don't know it all and be willing to learn. You are never too young and you are never too old for that. Amen.